It's all over. I'm free.
But it all went rather smoothly, I think.
Yes.
Brief and to the point.
Oh, very. 20 years demolished in less than 20 minutes.
Quite. Still one of those things. No one to blame.
Oh, no.
About the decree absolute. I'll apply to the court in 3 months' time. It should be automatic.
Thank you for all you've done, Mr. Moffat.
Not at all.
About the bill.
Oh, no hurry. No hurry at all.
Well, I'd like to get everything settled.
Yes, well, I'll, all in due course. Come on now, cheer up.
I'll survive. You've been very kind.
Only too pleased. You'll stay on in the house, I imagine.
Yes.
You understand it belongs to you now, completely, free of all encumbrances.
Yes.
Plus the £50 a month. Not enough to live on these days, but a help until you find a job. He was not unreasonable, I think.
No.
The best of luck, Mrs. Preston.
Thank you, Mr. Moffat. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Being a free man again, that's what's done it. It's made you dead sexy.
Come in here.
Hey, down, boy. Come on, open the champagne. You really not going to the office?
Certainly I'm not going to the office. Man doesn't get divorced every day of the week. Ah, he couldn't afford it.
You can say that again. It was a bit steep.
Stand by with the glasses.
Oh, I mean, paying off the mortgage, giving you the house, that's worth a few bob today.
All right.
And maintenance. I mean, it's not as if your daughter lives at home anymore, has to be provided for. And Harriet could work.
I didn't want to be stingy and have the lawyers arguing about money. I've done it. I can afford it. End of subject.
Right. Now tell me, Mr. Preston, sir, how does it feel being single?
Marvelous.
Isha 62390. Oh, hello, Jane.
Mum, I've been phoning and phoning. Are you all right?
Yes, dear. Quite all right. Yes. All over. Oh, now, Jane, don't go on. I didn't want you there. It wouldn't have helped.
Well, I think I should come down and stay tonight. You won't want to be alone. You do want to be alone, but Mother...
Look, darling, I'll see you at the weekend, as usual. Now, don't worry about me. Yes, I know you do, and it's sweet of you. Oh, look, there's someone at the door. I must go. All right, ring me in the morning. Bye.
The reception committee.
Frank.
Yeah, I'll look after it.
How was it? Well, I'm free. God help me. Jane's just been on the phone. She felt she ought to be here giving me moral support.
God forbid, she'll get all emotional.
Yes, I know. Why does she take it so much to heart when half her generation are trying to abolish the whole thing?
Well, never mind. Frank's pouring us all a large medicinal gin.
Do you the world of good, Harriet.
Yes, why not? Jane wanted to be at court. That would have made the family complete.
Well, Tom wasn't there.
Yes, he was.
Oh, what a nerve. If the case was undefended, he didn't have to be there.
Well, he has the right, if he wishes. I suspect he wanted to make sure he was finally and legally unchained. The girl was waiting outside. I must admit she's very pretty.
Never mind, darling, it's all over now.
I was fascinated in a macabre sort of way. All those pompous people bobbing up and down.
Harry, you had the damnedest way of looking at things.
Well, why not? It was my marriage that was coming to an end. A poor thing, perhaps. The only one I had.
Oh, come on. Have a bash at the gin. You'll feel better. Cheers.
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 Anyway, he's a fool. You're well rid of him, you know that.
Oh, yes.
It's so ridiculous. If only he could see it. I mean, he's far too old for that girl. But he is. She's almost the same age as your daughter, and let's face it, that's what upsets Jane.
Oh, let's not face it. Let's have no autopsies.
Second the motion.
Middle-aged hippies. The world's full of them lately. They dump their wives, change their hairstyles, and think that life begins when you put your hand up the nearest miniskirt.
Well, what are you looking at me for?
Oh, you'd do it if you got half the chance.
Oh.
All these elderly new husbands and lovers trying to keep up with their new dollies. Well, I can just see them in a few years' time, dropping the kids off at nursery school and then going on to the post office to collect their pensions.
Yes, well, I'm going to leave you two to dissect the male animal. I've got to get back to the office. Chin up, Harriet.
Thanks for calling in.
And if Miss Germaine here wants another drink, you make sure she has plenty of tonic, will you?
Shut up.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Of course, you realise there are going to be compensations.
For the moment, I can't think of one.
Oh, well, the obvious one. When you meet an attractive gentleman at a party and fancy him, no longer the problem of whether to have an affair with him and feel guilty, or stay faithful and feel absolutely nothing.
If I meet an attractive gentleman at a party, he's either happily married or quit.
Oh, darling, don't be defeatist. I'm trying to look on the bright side. Harry, it's time you came out of that nunnery you've been in ever since Tom left.
All right. But so far, there's been a singular lack of both gents and parties.
It will change.
When word gets round that Harriet has a certificate to say she's available.
Because the best way to meet a man is to get a job.
Yes, but the question I keep asking myself is what job? And then what do I do?
I know, it's not easy.
I mean, what have I been doing all these years?
Been a shocking disappointment to women's lib.
I've been pottering about, improving the house and garden. One of the great yawning majority who didn't want to do anything. Just be married.
Well, at least you've still got that.
A marriage?
To the home and garden. You could take in paying guests.
Oh,
You could. You could convert the upstairs.
well, I'll think about it. Oh, just a little one for me.
Well, I must say one thing for Tom. He has been very generous over the house. In most marriages end in battles over every penny. This is much more civilized.
It is?
Well, much better.
Well, I've got news for you. I don't feel in the least bit civilized. I'd like to scratch her happy, smiling face and kick him hard where it hurts.
What did the neighbours complain?
Not a chance to invited him.
Well, it's been fun.
Glad you could come.
How the other half lives, eh?
Some evenings we just sit down and listen to records. Or even watch the telly like an old connubial couple. Tell me, darling.
What couple? Whenever we get the chance.
Huh?
Isn't he beautiful?
Frank has to go.
Yes, I must.
Well, thanks for dropping in, Frank. Sorry your wife couldn't make it.
No, I'm glad she couldn't.
Well, next time, Frank and Helen are going to stay friends with both sides.
That's a good juggling trick if you can do it.
Oh, Helen's all right. You'll get along with her.
I get along with most people. Come to dinner sometime, but Warner we eat mainly from tins. Whereas I hear Harriet was a super cook.
Don't mind Sue. You know, it's awkward for her. Old friends.
Oh, she's really something. You're a lucky devil. You know that.
Yes,
Well, soon, eh?
definitely. Oh, Frank. I'm glad you're looking after Harriet.
That's all right.
Well, you know, get her to convert the house and rent it, eh? I want things to be all right.
Shall I pass the message?
No, you probably better not. But, I mean it. I've nothing against Harriet.
Except her age.
Oh, sorry.
So what did he say? Very sorry, but we really require somebody with more experience.
You know, Mother, I think you're doing this all wrong.
Oh?
Well, you tell them the truth. You ought to get the job and then let them see how lousy your shorthand and typing is.
You know, I didn't think I was stupid, but I've practiced and practiced. It doesn't seem to get any better.
Age.
Thank you very much.
I mean, past 40, it's very difficult to learn anything new. Well, especially, well, when you've been housebound for years.
Housebound? Charming.
But you know what I mean? Domesticated. Away from it all.
Jane, Whenever you come home for the weekend, you loom over me and make me nervous. You spend the entire time worrying about me.
But I am worried about you. So's Daddy.
How is he?
Fine. Looks rather well, really.
Just Daddy?
We had lunch without tart. I told him about your job hunting. He said it'd be difficult to get anything decent.
Oh, did he?
He says it's better to convert and rent rooms in the house. Well, that's something you can cope with.
A few lodgers.
And Frank and Helen said much the same. Live off the income while the property value rises 20% a year.
Seems unanimous. Didn't it occur to anyone that I might want a job? Might even need a job?
Oh, you've tried hard enough. And this is something you can do. It's sensible.
And housebound. Away from it all.
Oh, Mother, really.
A sensible lady with rooms to let. Dear God, I knew I was dull, but I'd no idea I was as bad as that. I'm a cabbage. I'm a sensible cabbage. In a neat suburban patch.
Were you phoning?
I'm trying to get Harriet, actually.
Harriet?
Well, I thought it was time I got some of my furniture back. I left it at Isha. There's a desk I'm very fond of, and my military chest. Oh, just wait till you see that. She's always out. Not like Harriet.
Just one thing I would like to say, Mrs. Preston. You've thought this all out carefully, I trust. As your lawyer and, I hope, friend, in view of the way property prices are rising.
You mean, was it wise?
Well, yes.
The answer is, I don't know, Mr. Moffat. But the object is not wisdom. The object is a change of image. And that might not be wise at all.